back, guys. This is Trop here, yet again with another analysis / commentary. Today, I want to really dive in about the pull system. Last video that I made was kind of an overview, just me saying everything within the first 2 weeks. Now I kind of want to put a little bit of emphasis on some of the systems within the game. So let's talk about the pull system and why you should be prepared for it. I've chosen to also accompany this with some footage of my recent pulls. And it's important to state that before this, even though it's not a huge pity, I did have to go to the 30 pity in order to get my mythic character. And now you guys will see essentially how these pulls go, just like an example of the pull system here and why you should be prepared. I'll talk about it. You need roughly, if you don't want to do the hard math, you need roughly 10,000 Lumia leaves if you want to guarantee a spotlight character, which would mean that you would need roughly 60 to 70,000 Lumia leaves in order to max out a character like a fully awakened talent tree. So if you're free to play, we have yet to see how long it would take in order to do that, in order to get enough of that currency. So that's something that remains to be seen. It all depends like how generous the game will be. I don't know, different events, milestones that could change, but I'm here to talk about the things that we can control, and that's being able to guarantee however many copies of the unit that you want. And so one thing to keep in mind when doing this is the basic conversion rate. It costs 1,800 for a 10 pull, so 1,800 Lumia leaves for a 10 pull, and then of course just times it by 6, and you'll get roughly 10,000 Lumia leaves required. Now it is important to note that as you pull more, as you play the game more, and as you get more duplicates, you are going to get bright dust crystals and bright dust prisms from the shop, and you can use that to buy a few more pull tickets. And then when you unlock the black market, if you save your black market coins for a long time, you can also buy a few pulls that way too. Like, I recommend any shop that lets you buy pulls, like any kind of pulls. If you're a free-to-play player, I would definitely recommend it, because those, while the materials are important too, because they cost pinnacle energy, and you can only have a certain amount of pinnacle energy per day. The pulls, I don't know how easy those are to get, and those might eventually run out. So I would say first priority, any chance you get, buy the Bon Voyage charms, especially the limited edition ones if you can. So that's something to do. Keep in mind that one thing you could do, because in some cases I do think a lot of the characters do need what do you call it, all the awakening traits to fully shine, but maybe not, maybe not for you. Just look, when you're planning for a character, like I said in my last video, make sure they're using weapons that you like, make sure they have a play style that you like, and look at their talent tree before time, and just try to make sure that you know how many talent points you need to get in order to get the abilities that you need to get. For example, for Caber, if you get 2 talent tree points, you get a second charge of the Binding Shield, and the Binding Shield is a really good ability. So if a second use of your ability is locked behind second talent for any unit, then that is going to be a massive boost. If you don't care as much about cooldown timing, or if you don't care as much about extra explosions with characters, like, read each talent by each talent and tell yourself, I would be okay with a character at this many talent points, like talent tree points. And whether that's 3 awakenings, 5 awakenings, 6 awakenings, it's up to you to kind of plan that out. And it's up to you to kind of notice that 10,000 if you're really unlucky, 10,000 gets you one of them. So if you go into a pull with 30,000 of those tickets, you are guaranteed to get 3 at a minimum. And if that's all you need, that's all you need. If you have, for example, 4,000 or 5,000 Lumia leaves and you desperately want a character, I don't know, like if you want the character that's out right now, like let's say Estella, then you still have a chance of getting her, and then the pity will carry, so even if you don't get her, you'll get the next unit. But as of right now, if you don't have 10,000 Lumia leaves as a free-to-play player, you have no way of guaranteeing a unit. So you have no way of guaranteeing Gwen right now, and you have no way of guaranteeing Estella right now if you do not have those 10,000 Lumia leaves. If you do have them, then great. Make sure to guarantee grab a copy, but make sure you know that going into it, so you don't get upset, because this is one of the things that I've seen happen a lot in gachas, is people believe their luck is running hot. They believe that they can't hit the pity, that they won't hit the pity, and they just pull anyways. And then when they don't get the character they want and they're 20 or 30 pulls away, they'll either top up with like a big gem pack that'll cost like $100 US or something, or they might be inclined to quit. They might say, okay, I couldn't get the character that I really wanted to, this game's not fun anymore, and then they quit. Like, I've seen that happen a lot, both times, either topping up or quitting. So this is why it's so important that you guys, like, if you can, build a little bit of discipline and only pull when you have 10,000 or more Lumia leaves. Like, if you're lucky and you just want the character and you get them within your first 10 or 20 pulls, great. Save the remaining Lumia leaves. You'll still have a bunch of them if that's your goal. But knowing that you have 10,000 Lumia leaves going into it will give you great peace of mind, so that if you do go to pity, which some of us will, some of us definitely will, you will be prepared. You'll still have the copy, and then you just save again. Do that again. Like, you save 10,000, grab your copy, see how long it takes to save 10,000 again, grab another copy of a future character, and go on from there. That's the way I would recommend. They also luckily have trials, like for every character in the game they have trials, so if you don't know exactly, if you're on the fence about pulling or not, you can see them during the trial. It'll be like extended gameplay where you would use ultimate ability, both of the abilities, lets you see if you like the character. This is something I especially recommend doing if you're getting close to the Lumia leaves, or if you have the Lumia leaves required and you just don't know whether you want to do it or not. And in that case, what you're going to want to do is save, do the trial. If you like the character, go ahead and pull. If you like the character but want more talent trees, like you think the character might be good with 3 talent tree awakenings, then I would maybe hold off. Maybe they'll come back in a few months, and if you'll have saved up, you'll have gotten enough to have them with 3 talent tree awakenings. Because like I've said in my previous video on this section, if a character has enough talent tree awakenings, they can play all the roles. They can play offensive role, defensive role, support role. They can play all the roles. So it's up to you to decide whether you just want the unit at base. If you want every unit at base, plan for that. That's the approach for you. If you want to skip a few units in order to get some units with more talent tree awakenings, then wait for those. And yeah, I'm trying to see what else I haven't covered. So I've covered